What's good, everybody, man? Happy Easter, happy Easter, happy Easter. It's a very special day. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my brothers, man. I got D Free, man, in the building. I got Prize, and Prize said, he fell asleep last night. I know he was tired. Uh,
Man,
get plane ride. So we're gonna touch on boxing and Charles Conwell. But before any of that, I definitely want to get off into because it's like a real uproar right now over what's going on and taking place in Colorado. And I don't feel one way or another about this. I want to say that first and foremost, but I do want to hear how my guy D Free, who is an adamant, he loves football, college football. He knows a lot about the sport, historian. So I definitely want to see how he feels about it. And we're talking about the fact that Colorado is wanting to, or they're going to, retire Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter's jersey. So, there's a lot of uproar, like I said, from former players. Colorado only had 4 jerseys retired, from what I heard. And I think the last one was Rashad Solomon. That's his name.
Rashawn Salam, the running back, used to play for the Where did he go to the Bears? Maybe back in the day, Rashawn Salam.
Okay, yeah,
He was
that's who
pretty
it
good.
is. His jersey was the last one to be retired. Uh, I
Yeah,
don't even know. Is Cordell Stewart jersey retired free?
Um, I'm
Okay,
not sure on Cordell Stewart.
I can't hear you, free. Can you hear me?
You're trying to get it together.
Okay, trying to
I,
get
I
it
don't
together.
know, but Eric Benjamin, how you say it? The
Eric,
boy.
Eric be enemy. But let me
Yeah,
Free finna be up here in just a second. Like I said, I don't know who jersey retired. I know Free probably knows.
Nah, it's
Uh,
not. It's not retired.
it's not retired. Okay, that's
No.
something. And for me, that's a big statement right there. Cordell Stewart's jersey is not retired. A lot of people are probably gonna look at that as a slap in the face to him. So we're gonna get off into this, but I'm gonna read this right quick. It just said Shador Sanders has been a polarizing figure in college football since he arrived in Colorado in 2023. And then during his 2 seasons there, he threw for 6,963 yards, 70 touchdowns, and only 14 interceptions, while completing 68.4% of his passes. Those are great numbers and everything. But I'm gonna start with you, Free. I want to know what you think about this whole situation because, like I said, when it comes to this football thing, college football, you know a lot about it. You're a historian. You know what I'm saying? I have great knowledge, but I feel like you have a lot more knowledge than me when it comes to this college football scene. What do you think about this?
Well, I have no problem with it. The school have the right to retire whoever jersey they feel is is a trendsetter for the school sport. Um, we got to remember when Shodell got there, the previous year they had only one game.
right.
They came there and they took them to a 7-game winning team, and then the following year after, which was this past year, they went to a 10-game winning team. I don't remember the last time that Colorado won 7 or 10 games. So they looking at it like these kids came here for 2 years and they did something that we couldn't do for decades. So
Right.
it kind of explains why they look at those two individuals and say, you know what, we gotta retire these jerseys because they did something that nobody's done in years. And when you look at Travis Hunter, they never had a player like Travis Hunter. I mean, you can look at it, any player they ever had. They might have had good running backs, good receivers, good quarterback, but nobody to the level of Travis Hunter that was a top receiver and then one of the nation's top corner. He was one of the nation's top in both positions, and he was playing both sides of the ball. They never had a player like that. So it goes without saying that you retire somebody's jersey like that. That's like saying daggone Joe Montana jersey should never get retired at daggone Notre Dame. No, that man did something that the school has never seen him do, and then he went on to have a Hall of Fame career. Yeah, it you wanna remember those players that came to your school. And that's the
Mhm.
reason why they retire those jerseys, because there's players that they want that school to always remember. So it you can't tell a school what what jersey to retire, what jersey not to retire. It's up to the school and it's up to the coaches to say, yeah, you know what? I think he deserved to have his jersey retired. That's the reason why they do it. They want that school to always remember those players.
Definitely.
Yep.
Price.
I pretty much agree with Free. I rarely disagree with him about things. But what has Colorado football ever done? Ever? You know, they had some decent guys. Like you said, Cordell slash Stewart, Rashawn Salam was a solid running back. He had no, I mean, he wasn't all the world beater in the next level, but outside of that, what had they ever done? They won one game before. The previous year before that, I think they won two games.
Yeah.
Shador came and did what they couldn't do in 10 years, like Free said, in 1 year. You know, he did it in one. Him and Travis, they did that stuff the first year. They eclipsed what they did. They knocked off the running runner up for the national championship. People, I mean, they knocked them off in game two. So um, I don't have a problem with them retiring Shador or and Travis's jerseys. Who they've been relevant for eternity in football, college football. And they breathed breath, gave some a fresh air, the breath of fresh air with that whole Sanders campaign. You know what I mean? That whole regime. I mean, they just breathed life back into Colorado football. Is relevant because of them and Deion Sanders. And they got another little dog at quarterback to replace Shador. So be ready next year. They're gonna be pretty good too. They got some dogs coming. So um, I don't have a problem with it. They got to start from somewhere. They went to a bowl game last year. I don't remember them ever being in a bowl game. Colorado football, maybe Colorado State, but
Yeah.
not the Buffaloes. But
I can
so
remember 3 times.
that's what you can. That's fine. But again, that was a long time ago, probably. But
Yeah.
they haven't been pretty relevant. They're relevant now. Prior to this, Sanders and Hunter and Coach Prime, that school was irrelevant, and it
Yeah,
looks like they're going to be loyal and stick with the program. And they gave Dion all he want. If they want to retire them two kids number, that's fine. They did. They probably won't have no players like that for a while anyway.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Let me say this free right here because, like I said, I'm not making a decision one way or another. I'm just basically being the moderator and letting y'all go with the flow. And this is coming from, I guess, whoever the guy is. He's somebody that's on the radio for Colorado, and he's basically saying, "I don't understand this at all." Pollock said, "I'm going to throw some names out there to you. Joe Burrow not retired. Tim Tebow not retired. Cam Newton not retired. Jameis Winston not retired. Marcus Mariota not retired. I can go on and on and on. Not retired. Shador is 13-12 at Colorado. Like that's his record. He wasn't an All-American in any year. I don't get it.
well, those names that he gave out was names of students that went to big schools. Colorado's not a big school. Colorado was irrelevant until Shadora and Travis Hunter got there and Dion. They was irrelevant. Nobody cared about Colorado. Nobody was looking for Colorado. When was the last time Colorado was on ESPN on a Saturday? It wasn't until Shadora and Dion and Travis got there that people started paying attention to Colorado. Yeah, it had to do with the fact that Dion was the new head coach, but Dion could have been the head coach if that team wasn't winning. It didn't matter who the head coach was. The team ain't winning. So, like he gave out names of kids that went to big schools. They didn't go to no small schools. So I mean, and like Thomas said, that was back in 1990. A
Yeah.
lot of the people that's on YouTube right now was not even born in 1990. So they don't know about what happened in
Salute
1990.
to T Dot. Salute to the chat,
So
Queen Quee.
it just, I mean, like I said, the school can choose who they want to. There's nobody out here going out here telling, oh, you need to go retire that jersey. No, the school choose who they want to, what jersey they want to retire. Like I said, they felt like Shadora and Travis Hunter did enough to where they want to always remember those students. So that's their right. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
They can do what they want to do.
Y'all only getting mad because these two guys, let's call it what it is. These two guys is African American, and they was only there for 2 years. Colorado is a predominantly white school. They got some African American, but they're predominantly white as far as their athletes. So that's the only reason why they in the uproar.
Yeah, definitely. I think it has a lot to do with it. Like I said, I'm letting y'all say what y'all want to say. I'm just moderating. I also heard a guy say, an older player say he don't have a problem with it, but he just feel like that there should be other players before them that need to be recognized.
They don't go to the school though,
No,
CDK.
no,
They don't.
no, no, no. He's talking about
Well,
players
like
who went
Cam
to
or Cam Newton and them.
Like Cordell Stewart. No, this player went to Colorado. So
Okay.
what he's saying is he don't have a problem with it whatsoever. But he feels like people like that came before them, where's their recognition? Like if you're gonna retire those jerseys, you should also like have a Cordell Stewart hanging from the rafters, or not rafters, but y'all know what I'm saying, up in the stadium. So I mean, do you think that they should look into maybe retiring Cordell Stewart's jersey? I mean, how
Yeah.
y'all?
I
Why
mean,
not? Cordell Stewart, he was that's Slash. He could do some of everything. Kick. He was. What was? You remember Cordell Stewart had a little whole thing going on at one point.
yeah, but
They probably would look into it now. They probably was like, okay, yeah, maybe we should do Cordell Stewart, that guy from Kansas City. I always have a hard time. I butcher his last name, the Eric guy. Eric. Well, I butcher his name. You know, if you
but
want to throw Rashawn Salam in there, I don't have a problem with that either. He was a pretty solid running back. No, like I said, he wasn't no world beater, but he was pretty decent. He was cool. You know what I mean? If they want to go and do that, that's fine. Yeah, Quee. I don't have a problem. They probably will spin the block and do Cordell/Stewart. I
yeah,
mean, he was fun to watch, and even in the NFL, he was fun to watch.
I mean, yeah, they could, but like I said, was Cordell that great of a quarterback or whatever?
I can look his numbers up real quick.
Yeah, I think he was.
I'm just saying, and on the college level, I know what he did in the pro. On the college level, was he that great? Because he didn't go number one, number two, like these two guys is predicted to go. I mean, not number one or number two, but they predict to go somewhere in the top 5, top 10. So
yeah, I know what you're saying. You're right.
It's like you can say Cordell deserved to be retired, but like I said, it's up to the school. If the school feel that he was that special that they should retire his jersey, then they will. If they feel like they need to remember that player for the rest of the school's history.
Well, looking at his stats, looking at Cordell Stewart's stats, they should spin the block and do them. They saying basically, I just googled it real quick. He was second team all American. He led the Big East, the Big Eight conference in total offense, and finished at Colorado's career leader in passing yards. Stewart also holds a school record for most passing yards and touchdowns. So that's probably where they pissed off with.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, they should.
They should spin the block and do Cordell Stewart too. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. I just think, I'm gonna say this right here. A lot of people feel like the Travis Hunter deserves it more so than Shador. That can be for a few reasons, or they can be the truth. It depends on how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the players are saying that, you know, hey, we can see you retiring Travis Hunter's jersey for what he done, but they got a problem with Shador, and there a lot of the players, ex-players, are leaning more toward it having something to do with Deion Sanders. You know, do y'all think that Travis Hunter is more wanted at having his jersey retired than Shador?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like I said, Travis Hunter was elite at both positions that he played. He was ranked in the top in both positions that he played. He was ranked as one of the best corners in the league, and he was ranked as one of the best receivers in the league. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely wanted for his jersey to be retired. Now, of course, they're going to look at Shador a little different because he is the son of Deion, but at the same token, he did something for that school that school couldn't do in like 10 plus years. They couldn't win more than 3 games in like 10 plus years. So he did something for that school that school couldn't do. Like I said, it didn't matter who the head coach was. If the team was losing, the team was losing. Deion could have been the head coach. If they still didn't win more than 3 games, they'd have been like, man, Deion ain't do nothing for us. We got to find somebody that can coach these boys up. So people just making a big deal out of it because of the fact it's Deion's son. But he still got to get on the field and perform. No matter whose son he is, he still got to get out there and perform.
Yeah, he do. What's good, Hot Rod? How you doing? You there?
Oh, top of the morning. What's good?
Man, top of the
Shador
morning.
Sanders do not deserve his motherfucking jersey to be
Hey,
retired, bro.
for 1 second, my brother. You can say whatever you want. I just try to keep the cussing out. My son go back. He's 6. He go back and watch all my videos. So I try to
Okay,
keep
bet.
it bare minimum.
Shador do not deserve his jersey to be retired. He ain't do nothing special. Only person that jersey should have been retired was Travis Hunter. Real simple.
Mm.
Real simple. He ain't do nothing that was special, bro. He ain't do nothing that was special. Not winning 9 games, that ain't nothing.
Hey, it's not the team ain't there.
Last time Colorado won 10 games was in 2016.
Okay,
We
that's
can
what
go
I was
back to
looking up to.
so if you want to say Shador deserves his jersey retired, then why not the quarterback that won 10 games for them in 2016 don't get his jersey retired? Like, come on, man. Miss me with it. He ain't do nothing special, man. Only person that did something special was Travis Hunter, being elite on both sides of the ball.
Hey, I mean, like I said, it's up to the school. I have no problem who jersey they retire. They could retire everybody that they feel is a good player. They could retire their jersey every single year. I have no problem with it. Like they didn't have to retire Shador's jersey in order for Dion to stay there. Dion was going to stay there regardless. People just thinking, oh, because it's Dion's son, they retiring the jersey. They didn't have to retire his jersey. Dion was still going to be the head coach. He had an opportunity to go to the NFL. He said, no, I'm going to stay in Colorado. So it wasn't like it was because it's Dion that they automatically had to retire the jersey. The school felt like they should have retired the jersey.
Oh, let me throw this out here for y'all, because like I told you, I'm just moderating and I'm just going through stuff. This is Shador Sanders' record set by Shador Sanders at Colorado. First in Colorado single season completion percentage at 74%. First in Colorado single season touchdown to interception ratio 9-1. First in Colorado single season passing touchdowns 37. First in Colorado single season completions 353. So I'm just reading the numbers off of y'all. Now, with me saying that, how do y'all feel about it? Do you still feel the same way, Hot Rod?
Yeah, I'm not a Max Kellerman, dog. I watch
Yeah,
football. This is my sport. I'm not
yeah,
no Max Kellerman that go off of stats. I
yeah,
watch the
yeah,
film. He's
yeah.
checked down Alex. He jacks off with the ball too much. You gonna see in the NFL. You gonna see. You gonna see him and Cam Ward gonna be a bust. You gonna see. You gonna see. Eye in the sky, don't lie. If y'all play football, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I played. I
Eye in the
played.
sky, don't lie.
I
Eye
ain't
in
gonna
the
lie to
sky,
you.
don't lie.
I think that he's gonna be. I don't know what he's gonna be in the NFL. I say that right there. I think he has the opportunity to be okay. He has a great mentor in Tom Brady. I feel like he has the opportunity. Now, what's gonna happen? I don't know. But when I don't know, it's possible he could be a bust, and it's possible that he could have a great career. I'm gonna say this: I'm split down the middle on that. I don't know. I can't wait to see how it does turn out, and
Yeah,
we're gonna see real soon. We ain't got too much more longer to wait. I know that it's almost
yeah.
there.
You never know what the player is going to be like in the pros because it's all about how can they adjust because the speed of the game is the one thing that these young players got to get used to. They got to get used to the speed of the game. Once they get used to the speed of the game, then it's all about their talent and their IQ. So we never know what they're going to do. We could project what they're going to do, but they still got to go out there and do what we believe they can do or what we don't believe they can do. So it all depends on the athlete. Now he can go out there and all the flaws that we see that he have in college, he can correct all of those flaws. They can get with a coach and they say, hey, look, you're doing this too much. You need to stop doing this. You need to stop doing that. And they can correct all the flaws that we might see him make. Or they could just say, you know what? He got these flaws. It's going to take a while for him to be able to correct it, and they can hide those flaws for as long as they could possibly do. It all depends on what coaching scheme they get with, because I truly believe when these young quarterbacks coming into the league, especially when they get drafted in the first round or high in the first round, they're coming to become starters. But in
Yeah.
order for these young guys to be successful, you got to implement some of what they did in college in order for them to be successful because of the speed of the game. So with the speed of the game, you trying to give them a new playbook and they got to keep up with the speed of the game. It makes it harder for them to be able to be successful. So the only way you can make it a little bit easier is by implement some of the stuff that they do in college. So it all depends on the athlete. Like I say, it's pretty much a coin toss. Who's going to be good? Who's not going to be good? You
Well,
can.
I agree with Queen Kwee in the chat. I agree with a lot of the stuff she said. You know, they basically saying that, you know, they only doing it because it's Dion. Call it what it is. She said another. What was the other comment that called me? She said without him and Travis, wouldn't have been able to do what they did. That's a fact. And you got to take in consideration the mental toughness with all the comparisons. You know, all that stuff they got to go through. They still got to go out there and perform. Shador and Travis had the spotlight on them. Man, it was that's all they do is talk about them two guys. You know what I mean? And I feel like they rose to the occasion. It's up to the school. If the school, they ain't never done nothing anyway, really. If the school want to, they can do whatever they want to do. I don't disagree with it because they did it. I agree with a lot of the mental toughness. I agree with they got to put in the work and they worked out and they did what they did and they rose to the occasion. They won and that's a small school. Then they changed their division. They're not in an easy division and they came out and performed both years to me. So I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
actually wrong. That's not a small school, sir. You're
Football
actually wrong.
school, a
Do
football
your
school
homework. Do your homework. That's not a small school, sir.
for football,
Colorado is not a small school, bro. You need to do your homework.
and then won one game before them boys came. I knew that.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Doesn't
You
matter.
need to do your homework.
I don't ever remember them being a popular college football school.
It don't
But
matter
they're
about
not.
being. It
that's
don't matter
fine.
about being popular.
They're not a small school, but they're not a powerhouse. I
Okay,
know a
that's
lot
what
of
I
people
meant. They're not a powerhouse then. Let me clear up what I said so we don't get emotional up here. But I don't have a problem with them retiring them kids' jersey. They can do whatever they want. It's their school. They do what they want to do, and it is warrant for retirement. I don't think that they did nothing wrong where they shouldn't retire. And ain't nobody did nothing for Colorado anyway. You can't even name no Colorado football player except for Slash and
State
maybe
Field
Rashawn
Jr. did way
Salam.
more than what Shador Sanders did,
Eh,
homie.
all right.
State
Well,
Field Jr. did way more.
Eric Bieniemy, did he go to Colorado? What
Yeah,
Eric
I
Bieniemy
think
go?
so. It was a running back, I think, wasn't
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy went to Colorado,
he?
I
Yeah.
believe.
So you got that. You got three people. You know what I mean? Four people, bro.
I had a partner. Went there too. He played. Me and him went to play football together. He went there.
Yeah, right. Cool. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know nothing about
His name
football.
is Well, I know you remember Roy Jones, old coach Murgison. His son. Me and his son played football together. They from here.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's
I
up.
mean, like I said, I have no problem with what jersey a school want to retire. I don't see what the problem is. I mean, there's a lot of people that say, hey, they need to go retire Cordell Stewart's jersey.
That's fine. He's
I
still
mean,
the all-time
instead
passing leader.
my whole thing is instead of them being mad that they're retiring Shador's and Travis Hunter, they need to go out here and put a daggone petition together to retire Cordell jersey. So
Yeah.
I mean, they putting the energy in the wrong place. They need to put the energy going towards, hey, we got some other good players that y'all might need to look at about retiring their jerseys too. So I just don't, I mean, like I said, a school going to retire whatever jersey they feel they want their school to remember in the future. So that's the reason why they retired the jersey. They believe that this student did something that other kids didn't do previous years, and they want the school to always remember them. That's the reason why they retired the jersey. So I have no problem with it.
Anybody got anything else they want to say about the jersey? Because I definitely want to move on to this young man, Mr. Charles Conwell. That's what I want to get into right now.
You talking about the trash can well?
Yeah. I definitely want to talk about him and his performance last night. And I ain't even gonna free. You know what? I don't want to even say that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That was my second time seeing him fight. You know what I'm saying? And he had a great record. He went out there against a tough opponent. I don't know if he's trash or his opponent was better than we thought, because that's only my second time seeing him fight. What do y'all think?
I told y'all before when y'all asked me how do I feel about Charles Conwell, I said I need to see more of him. I only saw him fight one time live. Yeah. I need to see more of him before I can give a full assessment. Based off of what I saw previously and based off of what I saw last night, he's an ordinary fighter. He's an ordinary fighter. He has flaws that we saw his opponent capitalize on. There's nothing real flashy about him. I didn't see a lot of power from him, and I heard that he was a big puncher. I didn't see a lot of power because he hit the dude clean last night, and the dude was just walking through those shots. Like Perez got hit multiple times on the button, and he might have been dazed for a hot second. He recovered quickly. So I mean, there was no noticeable hurtness from the guy. So I was like, I didn't see anything special. I was trying to figure out what was all the hype about Charles Conwell because I didn't see it. Not last night. Maybe I will see it in the future, but from what I saw, the first fight that I seen from him, and what I saw last night, I didn't see anything special from Charles Conwell.
What about you? How Rod? Did you get to see the fight last night? I remember you saying. I don't think you was watching it.
No, I only saw the main event. I ain't even watched that fight.
So you did see the main event. But let me say this right here about Charles, man. I had been hearing a lot about him, and I had been waiting to really see. Like I said, I seen one fight. That's my second fight last night. But I wanted to see what the hype was about. And the way he fought last night, his defense, is suspect. He's not a very good defensive fighter. He's flat-footed. I seen a lot of things that he needs to definitely work on. I ain't saying that he can't change those things. You know what I'm saying? They can be changed and corrected. But there's a lot of work. If he would have got in there with Virgil, I think he would have probably got knocked out. They've been hollering about him and Virgil or him and Boots. I don't see him beating either one of those fighters right now. So he needs a lot more work. I don't know
He
what.
lost, so he going to the back of the line anyway.
Yeah, he going to the back of the line, definitely to the back of the line. But it might give him time to work on what he needs to work on. Sometimes going to the back of the line ain't a bad thing.
No, a loss and shout out to Conwell. Like he needs some more work. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch the fight. I just caught a couple highlights, but he needs some work for sure. But that loss don't define him. Like you can come back from that. I don't want him to get up here and make it like we're gonna send him to the back of the line because that's what they do nowadays. But a loss is fine. He should be good. He'll be competitive.
No, I mean, but see, the thing is, Charles Conwell wasn't being pushed as it is. Now this fight, it just proved the reason why he wasn't being pushed. It just proved the reason why, because this guy that he just fought, I believe he was what? I think he was like 36-4-2, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and he went 10 rounds with Carlos Ocampo, and Carlos Ocampo won every round but one round. And I'm thinking, okay, from what I've been hearing, Charles Conwell should knock this dude out. It should be easy work for Charles Conwell. Then I see him in there, and I was like, hold up, man, this man losing. They was like, no. I mean, he gonna come back. He's gonna come back. They're not gonna let that man lose. He's a golden boy fighter. I'm like, man, I don't know what y'all watching. This man getting beat up. This man getting hands put on this dude. I don't know what's going on with this dude. And then, sure enough, I like, man, they got him down 3 rounds on the daggone unofficial scorecard. I said, they seeing what I see. And when they called it unanimous decision, Perez. I was like, I knew it. I know it. The dude was getting beat up.
Do y'all think he should rematch Perez? Would you do that?
Next? I mean, he can. Perez might knock him out the next time, but he can.
He might knock him out. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I always like to see a fighter lose. I want to see them get big.
Yeah, me too. And he didn't look.
I like a rematch.
He looked bad, but at the same time, both of them, if you ask me, look bad. I didn't see number.
I expect Perez to look bad. The man had 4 losses. He lost to Carlos Ocampo. I expect him to look bad.
Yeah. I thought both of them looked bad, and that's why I say a rematch is not a bad thing for either guy. It wouldn't matter to me if both of them got back out there and done it again. They both didn't have no defense, and I got to throw this out here, man, because Coach Kenny every day he say something that gets on my nerves, and this is what Coach Kenny had to say, and I definitely don't agree with this. He came on Mill City and he said that Abdullah Mason is the second best fighter at 135 pounds. Coach Kennedy's either lost his mind or he just hating on somebody else. Abdullah Mason is not the second best fighter at 135 pounds. That's just my opinion. How y'all feel about that?
That's the problem. This the same dude. It's the same dude that coaches a man that has a manufactured career. So of course he gonna say Abdullah is the best. Of course he is. Just how he think Tank Davis is the best. So it's nothing new to me, OG.
I'm glad somebody said it. What you say, Free?
Everybody is entitled to their opinion, but do I think Abdullah Mason is the second best? It remains to be seen. I mean, you can see the skill and you say, you know what, this dude got skills. He gonna be a problem. But to say he's the second best right now,
a little premature for me.
I can't really say that because I got to look at the level of talent that he faced, and then I look at the level of talent of the guys that's in front of him, who we believe are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I gotta look at those guys that's in front of him, and I look at the level of talent. So put Abdullah Mason against that level of talent. If he walks through that level of talent, and then you put him in there with those guys that's in front of him, and he's able to walk through a couple of those guys, and maybe have a tough fight here and there, then yeah, you could say, hey, you know what, he is number 2 or number 1 or whatever you want to say. But to say it right now, I don't know. I can see him say he got potential to be number 2 in the league or in the division or number 1 in the division or whatever have you. But to say he is right now, I can't really say that. I like Abdullah Mason.
Me too. I'm a big fan of that.
I got Abdullah Mason on my pound for pound. I like Abdullah Mason.
He ain't the second best 35 pounder though. Because go ahead, CDK. What you want to say?
I'm throwing a name out there because we know that Coach Kenny is trying to say that Tank is number 1. That's his opinion.
That's fine.
That's fine. Cool. That's what Keyshawn Davis.
I would put him, he could be numbered. He's active. I don't mind if you put him at 2.
Him and Abdullah Mason fought right now. Who would y'all pay?
I put Keyshawn in there.
Keyshawn smokes him.
I would favor Keyshawn, but hey, I'm not
smoking him. I don't know about smoking him, but he'll win.
I wouldn't be surprised if Abdullah beat him. I would favor Keyshawn, but I wouldn't be surprised if Abdullah beat him. I think that's a good fight. That's a good fight to me.
Right now, it would shock me. No disrespect to Abdullah Mason. I think he's a phenomenal young talent. It would shock me if he was able to beat Keyshawn Davis right now. I didn't say he would be.
Yeah, I didn't say he would be favored. No, I'm
saying if he beat him right now, it would shock me.
I'm gonna tell you why it wouldn't shock me, because to be honest, outside of the champion that Keyshawn just beat, he hasn't fought that level of opponents that you say, you know what, Keyshawn Davis is much, much better than Abdullah Mason. His level of opponents ain't that great. Now, we see the talent that Keyshawn got. We see the power that he got. But like I said, outside of the champion that he just beat, his level of opponents ain't that great.
He does have a better resume right now at the moment, I believe, than Abdullah Mason. If we just comparing resumes. Keyshawn has been like on a fast track, kind of, if you want to call it that, since he started. I'm just saying, from what I see, me looking at both of those guys, if you put them in the ring with each other right now, I feel like Hot Rod. I just think, Keyshawn right now, dog walking. Folding like a line.
I mean, like I said, I would favor Keyshawn, but I wouldn't be surprised if Abdullah beat him. I wouldn't be surprised. I see the skills that Abdullah has. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no, he got skills. Hot Rod, what do you think? If they fought right now, what do you think?
I'm with you, OG. I would be shocked if he win. I don't go off an eye test. You got to show me what you can do against a quality opponent. He ain't done that yet.
Yeah.
And hasn't he been dropped already by a prospect? Hasn't he been dropped?
Yeah. He faced adversity.
Well, that dude wasn't a prospect. That dude wasn't a prospect.
He's already faced adversity and he's already been dropped. My opinion, Keyshawn smokes him in 5.
I mean,
that's fine. Like, I feel like he went down, he got back up, dropped the guy when he got back up. Then he got off. Now he went. Hold on, 3. Then he went down again. The guy with D3, that guy from what I remember was definitely not a prospect. He showed you adversity. He showed you that he could, go down and come back. We ain't seen Tank or Shakur or none of them go down. Well, we seen Tank go down, but we ain't seen some of them other guys go down. So we don't know if they can come back and do what Abdullah did. Now, saying he's the second best 35 pounder is a little premature for me. I don't think he beats Keyshawn right now. I don't think he can beat Tank or Shakur right now. I like to see him get in there with some tough guys. We even got to throw Lamont in there now. I don't care what none of y'all say. Lamont is tough, so I like to see him get some fights in before I start saying he's second best. That's a little premature for me.
I don't count the fact that he's been dropped to say, you know what, he's not that good, because I remember when David Benavidez got dropped. I mean, he got dropped, and we see what David Benavidez is right now. No, what I'm saying is he got dropped. Just because you get dropped doesn't mean that you bad. You got caught with a good shot. Doesn't mean he stopped the man
in a championship fight, though.
What I'm saying is, Abdullah Mason got dropped and he stopped the man in the second round. It's not like he got dropped and that fight went the distance and it was a tough fight throughout the rest of the fight. No, the man got dropped twice in the first round. He got up. He's dropped the man in the first round as well. and then he stopped the man in the second round. So I look more at the fact that he faced adversity, being dropped for the first time, not only being dropped for the first time, but being dropped twice in the first round, and he still got up and stopped that man. It's not like he shied away from the action. He went right to the man. He knocked him down with a vicious uppercut, and then the guy got back up, caught him with another good shot. The dude was a very big puncher. That was a knockout artist that he was in there with. He was a very big puncher, and he dropped Abdullah again. Abdullah got up, dusted off, and went in there, went to the corner. His corner told him what they needed to do. He went out there and he stopped them. So
He listened to the corner.
I don't take that as a bad thing. I take it more as a positive because he knows, okay, I can get dropped and still get up and win the fight.
And he wasn't hurt either, D3. He just was. He just showed inexperience when he went down. I felt like that showed him that he still was premature a little bit. He needs to work. And in the fight after that, he looked twice as better. You know.
I mean, yeah. To be honest with you, he has a better chance of recovering and being okay getting knocked down than Keyshawn is, in my opinion, because Keyshawn's never been down. How will Keyshawn react if he get dropped?
How any of them would react?
Well, we can't say that because we don't know what type. We don't know if
I just said how would Keyshawn react if he gets dropped? We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know how he would react.
I mean, the possibility that Keyshawn don't ever get dropped. I mean,
it could be. But what I'm saying is, I don't know a single fighter that fought in the sport today that hasn't been dropped.
I mean, let me see.
Can I say something?
Canelo ain't never been dropped.
Canelo, no, he ain't been dropped. He been rocked.
He ain't never been dropped.
He ain't been rocked.
So OG Free, you are impressed with him beating a dude where he was favored by -3,000. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I said I was impressed of the fact that he got dropped and it didn't bother him.
Bro, he was favored by -3,000. He was supposed to beat that man.
It doesn't matter what he's favored. The favor is what the odds, the Vegas think that they're going to win. It doesn't matter if the guy is favored or not. The man, it was a big puncher. He got dropped for the first time in his career. Not only did he get dropped once, he got dropped twice. And he still got up and stopped the man. I like the fact that he faced that adversity and he didn't shy away from it. He went right back at the fire. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was impressed with. His mindset, not the fact that he beat somebody that everybody favored him to beat. It was his mindset from being put down for the first time. He was being put down for the first time. And not only did he get put down once, he got put down twice. And he still went right to the action and stopped that man in the second round. That's what I'm impressed with. He's a young kid being put down on national TV for the first time in his career. The man was only 20 years old at the time.
There isn't anything impressive about him.
I mean, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I mean, you said Jerome was going to get knocked out by Stanionis.
I'm tired of y'all going off a hype.
No,
he did what he's supposed to do.
You was the same one that said Jerome was going to get stopped by Stanionis.
I said he'd win by decision.
You said he was going to knock him out. You said he was going to get stopped.
He was going to win by decision.
I got it on video. I got it on video. You was on BBO. You said he's going to get stopped.
Play it.
You said he's going to get stopped.
Play it.
I'm gonna go back.
You over here happy because he beat somebody that was
I'm saying what you said. I'm saying you was wrong before. All I'm saying is you've been wrong before.
I don't care about being right or wrong. I care about knowing the truth. And the truth is the dude hasn't fought nobody.
Whether he fought anybody, in your opinion, is your opinion.
So fighting somebody, somebody that you're a -3,000, that's fighting someone? That's fighting someone, right? Okay.
No, whether you believe the guy was good or not, that's your opinion. It depends on what you look at as a guy being good or not.
Let me ask y'all this: Floyd Schofield and Abdullah Mason, who y'all favor right now?
Schofield and 5.
Schofield gets stopped.
Yeah, Schofield gonna knock this dude out.
I'm not a big fan of Floyd Schofield either.
Schofield gets stopped.
I like him as a kid. I like him as a young man, but I can't see him now. When it comes to that fight, I definitely can't see him. I don't know. I think Abdullah Mason beats him. I'm not big on Floyd Schofield. I ain't big on him. What do you think? What about you, Price? Who you think wins that fight?
I probably favor Abdullah in there. You know, I don't like how Schofield do. I think he needs to just pull away from his pop a little bit and stand on his own. But I like Abdullah, and I feel like Abdullah is just a little bit more polished, you know. But that's fine if people want to pick Schofield to win. I don't have a problem with that. It's your opinion. But you ask me, I say Abdullah gets him in 12. And I think it'll be a good fight, and I think both of them will learn something from one another. I both think they'll grow up in that fight, but that's a hell of a fight. But Senior's already talking about some 2.5 million, which is crazy. When I thought he said 2.2, but I stand corrected. D Free educated me and said it was 2.5, and
Yeah,
that turned out to be a fact.
it's
And
2.5.
that I don't see the fight being worth more than 2.5. So I don't know. You can tell he don't want to fight. The Schofield, the kid himself might want to fight, but it's not going to happen because his daddy already talking crazy.
But his dad came out
Well,
and
his
said,
dad been on. My fault,
"Go
OG.
ahead,
My fault.
no, go ahead, all right,
What
go
did he
ahead."
say? Educate me because I didn't catch what his dad say lately.
His dad. They went on the Boxing Voice and they
Uh-huh.
broke it down.
Yeah,
They said they got an offer. They didn't hear a number. So his dad told Oscar, "We want 2.5." But come to find out, they was offering like 1 million. And the son said he'd take the fight. The
yeah,
son said he'd take the fight.
Yeah, but
yeah.
what
He
his
did
daddy
say that.
said though.
Yeah,
It's what his
yeah,
daddy says.
no, they didn't offer 1 million. The son said, "I'll take the fight for 1 million." The son said, "I'll take the fight for 1 million." Nobody offered him anything. They just threw it. They just threw the opportunity of fighting Abdullah Mason, and he said the father came out first and say, "Hell yeah, we'll take it." He said, "Our number is 2.5." He said,
Now,
"You over there, you dealing with Turkey? You got Jay Prince. They got the money. Our number is 2.5." And then they went on there and it did it, and his son was like, "Man, I'll take 1 million."
yeah, hey, Free, the dad also said, to his credit, you know what I'm saying? The
That
dad
ain't
said
his
that,
credit. That ain't
no,
his
I said,
credit,
no,
dog.
no, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying to his credit, this is something that the father said. And the father said this right here. He said, "You don't tell McDonald's how to sell their product and what they ask for." He said this. He said, we might say 2.5, and then you give us a counter offer. He said, "We're not saying we won't take the counter offer. I just threw a number out there." This is what the father said. It ain't what I'm saying. This is
No,
what he said. He said, "You throw a number
no.
out there. If the number is right, then we'll go from there." He said,
Well,
"But
why?
2.5, you know, saying he said you start big and then you let them make you an offer." That's
Well,
what he said.
why he ain't throw out 2.5 for
I,
It's
Shakur then?
I mean, that's
it's called business. They did negotiating.
I mean, it's more likely that you'll get it for Shakur. Why you ain't throw it out there for Shakur then?
just a good question. That's a dang good question. I mean,
From
but
my
I've been saying
understanding.
that's what he said. You know what I'm saying, Free? He said that 2.5 is not like it's not an end all be all situation. You see what I'm
No,
saying? He just
I'm not saying that it is. But if you got a guy, we all know Abdullah Mason has never headlined a card. He fought co-main events and everything like that, but he's never headlined a card. He's considered a prospect. I think the highest, I mean, he might have moved up since then, but the highest rank prior to that whole offer that was thrown out there. I think he was ranked like number 7 was the highest rank in any sanctioning body. Was the highest rank was ranked 7.
I forgot what it was.
You're ranked number 2 right now in the WBA. You're ranked number 2 in the WBA. You asking somebody who everybody consider a prospect, never fought on a main event, and is ranked lower than you for a higher purse than a guy that you was about to fight as a champion. Not to mention, you're giving him the A side by saying this is what you want for the fight. You would supposed to be the one offering him the fight. You supposed to be the A side. He's a prospect. He's not a big name. Everybody pretty much know who Schofield is. They starting to know who Abdullah Mason is now, but you giving him the A side.
Abdullah Mason is ranked
fourth.
number
See,
he's ranked number 8 in the WBO.
yeah.
He's ranked in the WBC, he's ranked number 4. In
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah, he moved up.
WBA, he is not ranked.
Let me
He's
ask
only
y'all
And
this.
ranked in 2 sanctioning bodies.
Let me
yeah,
ask y'all this.
so okay,
He
Floyd
moved up.
Schofield looks like he's ranked in pretty much all of them.
Yeah, he is. Let me ask y'all this though. And this is me being honest on all aspects. I feel like once you're ranked, I'm not gonna call you a prospect anymore. Once you start getting it, I'm talking about getting up in the rankings, really getting up in the rankings, like you're in the top 5. I start looking at you as a contender. That's just my
Yeah.
personal opinion, how I look at it. Now,
No, I'm just saying people
no, I know
call
what you're
him a
saying. No, I
prospect.
know what you're saying, Free. I'm saying people still call him a prospect. Like that's why I know what you're going off, Free. But do you feel like now he could be considered a contender?
Oh, he's most definitely a contender. Once you
Okay,
get ranked in the sanctioning bodies, you are a contender because the
right.
champion can fight anybody in the top 10
Yep.
of that sanctioning body. So he is a contender. but everybody's saying he's still a prospect. So okay, you asking a prospect for 2.5, but you didn't ask the champion for 2.5. It's more
Yeah.
likely that you would get the 2.5 for the champion than you would for the prospect. The same people that you said that Abdullah Mason is dealing with, Turkey and Jay Prince, is the same person that Shakur Stevenson dealing with, Turkey and Jay Prince. But you didn't
Do you
ask for 2.5 for him.
do you think with that situation they really wanted that fight? I feel like they kind of realized, hey, I feel like they backed out of the fight because they really didn't want it. Because you remember the time though, Schofield Senior was saying like, hey man, it ain't about the money when it comes to Shakur. We just want the name on our resume. So I lean more towards when it came to Shakur, they were looking at this is a big name and an opportunity. But I think in the end, I feel like he felt like his son wasn't ready, and they kind of pulled out. Now I could be wrong. I ain't saying I ain't, but that's just how I feel about it. I feel like that's why they pulled out.
I mean, that could be it. I mean, I'm not gonna say that is for sure because I don't know. I mean, that
Yeah,
that could be it. Um, but I don't know because he said they already have a fight. They already got a fight for June, and we know that Abdullah Mason has a fight for June. I think they was asking would he take the fight in June, and maybe that's probably why they said, you know what, okay, we just gonna well actually they didn't give a date when they was going to give him an offer. They just asked him would he take the fight, and they said yeah. We just assumed that it was going to be on the Keyshawn Davis card because that was the next fight that Abdullah Mason was going to fight. So we
yeah.
just assumed that could be later on this year. It could be the next fight. It might not have to be the June fight. It could be the next fight. And they just offer, do you want that fight? And they say, yeah, we'll take that fight.
How
So
do how,
we'll see if anything makes out of it after June because we
yeah,
know
how
both
do
of those
y'all feel
guys
about
supposed to be
this?
fighting in June.
Lomachenko's being stripped of the title, and they're wanting Keyshawn and Raymond Martolo to, I guess, fight for the title. Is what they're trying to make happen. So
That's
they
good.
saying they're gonna strip Lomachenko, or they already stripped him. Which one is it?
That's good. I mean, the one thing I do say about the IBF is they, for the most part, they hold true to their rules for the most part. Now they still every sanction body still has their issues and their crookedness about them, but for the most part, they hold true to their rules. And Lomachenko, I mean, he got the title, and then all of a sudden he said he's going to spend some time with his family and pulled out of the negotiation with Tank Davis and and Bob Burns said, well, he said he's supposed to come back in April. Well, it's April. We ain't hear no rumblings of Loma coming back. So I mean, maybe they need to say, okay, you know what? If you decide to come back, then we'll give you a chance to fight for the title again. But right now, we need that belt up off you because we got other guys that's trying to fight, and we need to make some money off that belt. Because the IBF is one of the only sanctioning bodies that don't have multiple belts. They one of the only ones that don't have. I think the WBO does. Yeah, the WBO got multiple belts. WBC got multiple belts, and the WBA got multiple belts. The IBF, they don't have a bunch of different belts. They have the champion. I think only 3 times in their entire of existence they gave out an interim belt. It may be 3 or 4 times they gave out an interim belt. Usually, you're the champion, and then there's a mandatory. That's it. They don't give out no silver belts, no interim belts like that, or anything. So, I mean, they one of the only ones that they make money off the champion. They're not making money off anybody else. So they need that
And they
belt back.
got that weight hydration clause. The IBF, they don't play around, bro. I think the section of bodies, I think they all kind of janky. I'll just use that word. But the IBF seem like they're the only ones that try to follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? So they're pretty strict.
Yeah, they definitely are.
IBF.
How Rod, are you a fan of Lomachenko? How you feel about them stripping?
Good about term. I didn't hear the question. But I don't. He holding up the belt like Free said. I'm glad they stripped him. Is
Yeah.
he at home? Is he at war? Is he retired? What is he? Well,
I was,
he shouldn't be
That
the champ.
man,
Give
that
up the
man,
belt, and that's
that
it.
man fishing. That man went
yeah.
fishing.
Man out
I
there
was
doing what
asking,
he want to do.
I was asking how Rod how he felt about Lomachenko strip.
I think it's about time. I don't think. I don't think. I don't think it's fair that these fighters get to hold these belt hostage if they don't fight, you know?
Right.
Yeah, facts.
Like, but I don't think it's fair how the sanctioning body be biased and choose who they allow to keep the belt for a certain amount of time without stripping them, you know? So
Yeah.
it goes both ways, but I'm happy. Hopefully we get a good fight for the vacant.
They saying Keyshawn and Raymond Marlatola. How do you feel about that fight?
That's a good
I'm,
fight.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool
Yeah,
with that, you know,
I
because
think it's a good fight.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
a
ask me,
that's a real good fight.
the division is really not that deep, if you want to be honest. Like it's really not that deep, you know. It may be top heavy. You know, we got to see what these young dudes do, you know, the Masons, the Stevens, hit Austin and whoever else the prospects, I mean, prospects slash contenders. We got to see what they do because all the big names didn't left. You know, it's really only just Shakur, Keyshawn, and Tank Davis. And are they gonna
Yeah.
fight each other?
That
Well,
remains to be
we know
seen.
Shakur and Keyshawn not. We know
Well,
they not.
we know they not, but is Tank gonna fight both of them? Is Tank gonna fight one of them? Is Keyshawn gonna fight Tank? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, the division is really not that deep, if you ask me.
Yeah, and then you got
Yeah.
like on the cups, you got like you said, Hot Rod. You got like the what's his name,
You
Andy
got
Cruz,
you got Raymond Ford out there. You don't forget about him.
Raymond Martola. You got those guys right there on the verge of they can either be great or they can be busts. But I want to see what Andy Cruz and Dula Mason what they gonna end up doing. And that right there could be a future good fight. A lot of people are saying they don't think Andy Cruz as good as he was as an amateur, but
You
I
got Frank
been watching
Martin.
that.
I apologize. I was looking at 30. That Raymond Ford's a
Yeah,
30.
yeah. Frank
You got
Martin.
you still got Frank Martin. You still have Tevin Farmer, who's you still got El Rayo. He can come back maybe. You got some guys like I want to see Abdullah face one of them guys. Like I want to see him fight like um, Rayo, Tevin, Frank Martin type fight. You got De Los Santos, he's still out there. So, Oshaki, or not Oshaki, but, maybe if he wants to move up, I don't know. But, like, I kind of agree. It's only kind of top heavy. I mean, Andy Cruz, we got to see. You got that guy that, I mean, I'd like to see Abdullah beat up Mark Maxeo, something like that. That's who I want to
Yeah,
see these young bulls fight. I want to see them fight the likes of Rayo. You got Lucas Bati still there. I mean, Maxie Hughes for whatever that's worth. But it's a couple names that notable names. But I don't know if you want to call them world beaters.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think
I want.
To
Yeah,
be honest,
yeah,
you named a lot of contenders slash
Yeah,
journeymans.
that's what I'm saying. It's whatever you want to take it. Those are
yeah,
the notable names, though. And
yeah,
shout out to Detroit, BC. But yeah, those are I was just ripping off names. You know what I'm saying, that I know
yeah,
personally. And them guys are not trash, but like you said, Hot Rod, they pretty much contenders and journeymen.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. That's definitely what they are. But the Keyshawn Davis and Keyshawn does win that fight. He'll be in a great position. That'll give him two titles, and I think it would also put more pressure on Tank or people wanting to see that fight. As Keyshawn continues to move up, I want Tank to fight. I don't know. I just don't want Tank to go out the door and you ain't face none of these opponents, man. You gotta get in there with one of like if you think about it, Shakur Stevens and Keyshawn Davis, Teofimo Lopez is all the names that Tank's been tied to. I definitely want to see Tank in there with one of those guys.
hey dog, hold up, man. I'm looking at these daggone rankings for the lightweight.
Yeah.
They got this dude, Andy Cruz, ranked number daggone 7. He got 5 fights. He hasn't fought anybody.
Yeah, I think that.
Adula Mason is 18-0. He fought better competition than Andy Cruz fought.
Mm.
And they don't have him right in the top 10. I'm like, man, these promoters be paying for these daggone spots like a mug.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going
Bro,
on.
I was telling you that yesterday, Free. I'm like, how? I was just saying that last night.
Yeah, man.
It's
This man ranked
crazy.
number 7. He got 5 wins. He's number 7. And Adula Mason got 18 wins, fought way better competition than Andy Cruz fought. Now, granted, Andy Cruz is the 2-time gold medalist, whatever have you. So be it. That was the amateurs. We talking about the pros. This man hasn't done anything in the pros to be ranked number 7.
Man, when you got money and you paying, that's what happens. They're gonna move you through the rankings. A lot of people are
What's
buying
going on,
position in
Detroit?
the rankings, and that right there, man. That's what's wrong with boxing too. It's too easy to get into these rankings, and Then you look at a fighter that's he's an elite fighter, but he's only ranked in one of the sanctioning bodies, which is
Crazy.
crazy. It don't make sense.
He
Well,
number one in the WBC, D Free.
well,
Andy Cruz.
no, I'm not talking about the sanction about it. I'm talking about actual overall ranking.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm just thinking
But
about
no,
like,
what I'm saying, when it comes to the sanctioning bodies, in order for you to be ranked in the sanctioning bodies, you have to fight fighters that's in those other sanctioning bodies. If you only fighting guys that's ranked in the WBC or only ranked in the WBA, you're only going to be ranked in those sanctioning bodies. You have to fight guys that's ranked in other sanctioning bodies.
I know how they do it, but I'm just saying when I look at somebody, man, and I'm watching them go through and beat these fighters, like I still can see and be like, man, there ain't no way. It just kills me when you see a guy that you know should be ranked in all three of them, regardless of whatever, and he's not. Like I feel like a lot of times this is what those boxing off when you have problems with people getting stripped for certain reason because they want him to face him, but then the other sanctioned body want him to face him. It causes a lot of confusion, man, a whole lot of confusion. Well, good, Marky Dan. You there?
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
How you doing, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Marky Dan trying to sound like Barry White, man. If you don't take that bass out your voice.
Man,
Who is this promoter?
man, Marky Dan. Yeah, but
I just woke up.
you
I
just
just
woke
woke up, nigga. Don't tell me how I need to sound or how I don't need to sound. You worry about
Well,
yourself, Defrilio.
I hope you brush your teeth before you got on this daggone call. Oh, he forgot to brush his teeth. He went to go back.
Oh man,
Mason is nice, real prison. What's good?
What's
man?
going on, Tommy?
Mason is nice, but he hasn't faced nobody. I got
No. Tommy's saying that because he's a huge Andy Cruz fan. That's why he's saying that. Andy Cruz ain't faced nobody. That's the reason why
They both ain't
Oh,
faced
yeah,
nobody.
Mason does have a better resume right now than Andy Cruz. There's no question about that.
That's
Wait,
why Tommy said that.
but
No, I mean,
OG,
like I said,
OG,
neither
how
one of
can
them
you
have
say
faced
that?
anybody. Neither. No.
Oh, because he has 18 fights, and if you look at Andy Cruz has how many fights?
Andy Cruz has 5.
5. And then look at this, Hot Rod. If you go back and pull their records up, and I ain't even looking at their records, I can guarantee you that you can look at their win-loss records and Mason win-loss record right now. The opponents he faces is gonna be much better.
No, I mean, like if you look at you take Andy Cruz 5 fights, and you give it to Abdullah Mason last 5
Andy
fights.
Cruz.
It's no comparison. Now,
Andy
the one
Cruz
that I
only
will
got
say,
5 fights.
yeah, he only got 5 fights. Andy Cruz only got
That's
5.
what I was saying, Hot Rod. That's why I'm saying that for.
But now, what I will say is Andy Cruz came in the pros fighting 10-round fights, and that was because he was 27, 28 years old when he came into the pros. They were like, man, we can't start you off at these low weight. We gotta put you as fast as we can possibly put you because you ain't got but 8 years left.
They
You got but 8 years left.
trying to fast track him.
I would disagree with that, Free. I think the Cuban prime that only starts to go out around the 50s, maybe like 50 to 58. I think Andy Cruz got plenty of time.
No, you talking about back in the day. We talking about right now.
Oh man,
what
I
Marky
mean,
Dan?
Frank Sanchez,
Frank
bringing
is
down, they lasted a pretty long time.
No,
Frank Sanchez, how?
I mean,
Well, he was
like,
58. That's what I'm saying, CDK. Frank Sanchez was
Frank
58
Sanchez
when he
ain't no
lost.
58, man. That man ain't no 58 years old.
He's
Frank
somewhere
Sanchez,
in there.
we don't know how
He's
old
definitely
Sanchez
not 30
is.
years old. He's
He-
definitely
he-
not
I mean,
30.
he ain't
Hey,
even
yeah,
50 though.
I mean, yeah, he looks 30. We don't know how old he is. He
Yeah.
look like he look like he's older than me. To be honest with
Don't
you,
look like
the
he's
man
33.
look older than me. I'm 49. The man look older than me, but
There you
we
go.
don't know how old he is.
They saying that he's 32 years old. That's what they got him at.
I
That
think
man-
Andy
might be-
birth certificate checks out. I do think that's a legitimate document.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Frank Sanchez I thought he was gonna be a pretty good heavyweight.
I'm not comparing their styles. We comparing their resume. How is Andy Cruz ranked number 7 overall at the lightweights, and Abdullah Mason is not ranked in the top 10 at all. And Andy Cruz only got 5 fights, and the level of competition is no better than the level of competition that Abdullah Mason got, and Abdullah Mason is 18-0. Right. And Abdullah Mason is not ranked in the top 10. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not comparing the styles. We know that they two different style of fighting. I'm not comparing that. I'm looking at the actual fighter. This man hasn't fought anybody to put him number 7. He hasn't fought better competition than Tevin Farmer to put him number 7. Tevin Farmer is number 10. Yeah, granted, he lost to Williams and Pater, but he still fought better competition than Andy Cruz fought.
Oh, definitely. Tevin Farmer definitely fought better competition. Ain't no doubt about that. I can't take that from him.
It said Andy Cruz is number 1 in the WB. Well,
I know. That's what I was saying.
Zepeda's the interim champ, so that don't matter because Zepeda's the interim champ. So that don't
I know. That's what I was saying, Tommy. Eddie Hearn paying these daggone these positions like a mug. Him and Bob and Oscar, all of them, they pay for those positions. They all do it.
He's number 3 in the IBF.
I don't think there's a promoter. I don't think there's a promoter out there that don't pay for certain fighters to get in certain positions. Now, some of them earn those positions, but some of those guys are being put in those positions. They pay a little bit under the table to put this guy. Hey, my guy about to fight this guy. Make this guy somewhere in the top 10. We ain't telling you make him number 2 or anything. We'll put him somewhere in the top 10 that's respectable. They all do it.
I think Andy Cruz, he probably a year away from a title shot. Just looking at this, his best option will be the IBF.
That man probably get a title shot.
Him and Abdullah.
He get a title shot next year. Andy Cruz get a title shot next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at the IBF rankings. I think they'll have him up there probably in the next year. But
he might. Hey, to be honest with you, he might get one this year. Never know. He might get one this year because they about to strip Loma. He might be one of the contenders to fight for that vacant belt. He might get it this year.
But do you think Abdullah would get his title shot first? I'm looking through. It's not Abdullah ain't ranked as high as him as he is in the IBF.
He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get a shot before Andy will, but he will get a shot. I just don't think he's gonna get it before Andy. I think, like I said, Andy might get that. He might get a shot at that vacant IBF if they go ahead and strip Loma. He might get a shot at it.
Well, I'm about to keep saying they already saying that they got that fight in place with Keyshawn and Martola. They're saying it's like almost a lock that that's gonna happen for their title. So it's gonna be hard for either one of those guys to get their belt. They really want Keyshawn.
I don't think Keyshawn will be able to get that. Because
they already saying, hey,
what I'm saying is the way they do vacant belts is they have to they normally do the number 1 and number 2 in that sanctioning body. Because it's a vacant belt, they have to make a champion. You can't force another champion from another sanctioning body for that vacant belt.
I thought the same thing, Free, until they said Turkey got his hands tied into it, and this is
Bob is probably trying to get that because both of those are his fighters. Bob is probably trying to get that. The way the sanction bodies normally do it is now, like I said, all this can be changed and you put a little bit of bread.
So who you have fight for the vacant? Free Andy Cruz and that Zaire Abdullayev guy?
No, it's Raymond Murataya and Zaire Abdullayev. They're gonna fight, I think, for the mandatory position. Then if it was a vacant thing, I think they would slide Andy Cruz in that spot.
I'm telling y'all
that's what I'm saying.
It's fine and dandy what everybody's saying, but I'm telling y'all what's being reported.
I know what you're reporting, and what I'm telling you is
not what I'm reporting. I'm saying
I know what you're reading. I'm saying I know what you're reading. What I'm telling you is Bob is trying to get that to happen. But if that belt goes vacant, the IBF is going to have their number 2 and their number 3, or their number 2 and their number 4 fight for that vacant title.
Yeah, I know.
That's what's going to happen with the IBF. Bob is trying to get that to happen with Raymond Muratalo and Keyshawn Davis, but it's all up to the IBF. The IBF could say no. We're going to hold true to our rules, which they normally do.
I want to see that fight. That would be a great.
They can still fight if Raymond Muratalo fights somebody and he gets that belt. They can fight for unification. Or if Raymond Muratalo doesn't get the opportunity to fight the IBF, he can still fight Keyshawn for his belt. I have no problem with either one of them. He can fight
I want to
Keyshawn
see
Wade.
that. I want to see that Andy Cruz
Like
Murataya fight
I
though.
keep telling y'all, to me, it doesn't matter about the daggone belt. I want to see the fight. I don't care
Okay,
if the
hey
belt is
Free,
on the line or not.
Free, you right, Free. But is that Martola is fighting? What's his name? Number 2, Zahir, somebody for
Yeah,
the
Yeah, Abdulayev.
IBF interim lightweight title on May 10th. They're
yeah.
fighting
And
on May 10th.
what they're gonna probably
Andy Cruz.
if they strip Loma, they're gonna make that a vacant title fight.
But
Then it
then
says,
I'm
oh, look
looking
what they're
I'm looking
doing,
at the
Free.
headline CDK. It said Andy Cruz is fighting in the IBF eliminator in June.
Well,
Yeah,
this
he's
So
right
I
here,
fighting.
think
May 10th. This is set
Yeah,
in. This right here, the fight been set and made already for May 10th.
so. I think
Martola versus
they about to put that question on Loma, and if Loma don't answer it correctly, they're gonna probably strip him.
they stripped him, or they stripping him, but they're saying Martola is gonna face Keyshawn after if he gets past the number 2 guy, whatever his name is, Zahir
yeah.
somebody. They're saying that
And
they will
that's
be
gonna
right
be
after that.
that's gonna end up being
I
for a title
mean,
fight, and the eliminator that Andy Cruz will make him the number 1 contender
Yeah,
for the IBF, which would mean the next time that they call the mandatory is going to be Andy Cruz, which
well,
will
yeah.
be
how y'all figure
probably
Keyshawn and
later this year.
Murataya will come? My bad. Go ahead, Free.
This ain't
No,
what we pushing, Market Dan. This is what they're pushing. We're just
no, what I'm saying is, I mean,
Oh, okay.
the unification. If Raymond Muratalla wins that belt, and they elevate him to the IBF champion, the
yeah,
unification will trump the mandatory. But the thing is, they have to keep unifying. If at any point they stop unifying, the
yeah.
IBF going to say, okay, you know what? Our number 1 contender is being ordered as the mandatory.
I
We
see what
don't
you're
care
saying.
about no other fight you got lined up. We want this mandatory fight.
So
But
what you're saying
but
is
you gotta
Keyshawn
remember
and
Murataya
Martola will be a unification.
Murataya is the IBF, and they don't necessarily go with that unification trumps mandatories. They've stripped dudes before for deciding to unify rather than fight their Mando.
Yeah,
So
they have. I
I
think
mean,
it's a
they have.
what I see happening, what I see could happen is I think Eddie Hearn might drop a little bag for Andy Cruz and Murataya to fight. Nothing
you,
serious. I think he'll pay him $1 billion each. Murataya takes that, then he moves on to a Keyshawn. Why
you
not
ain't
just?
listening
I
though,
think he'd take that
Market
little bit of
Dan.
money.
Market Dan, you're not listening. Turkey is in wants this fight. Eddie
Oh,
Hearn's not gonna.
okay. I didn't hear that. All
You
right,
see what I'm
you're right.
saying? Turkey the one pushing for the Keyshawn Davis fight with him for them to get in the ring. So you know what Turkey want. You know Eddie Hearn gonna step back out the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn step out the way. Eddie Hearn, but well, Turkey putting the money up for it. I ain't got to put no money. I'm getting paid anyway. I ain't
Right.
got to put no money up.
And that's what's going on, Market Dan. He the one pushing for the fight. He's the one really pushing for it.
Yeah.
And
But
So
what
I mean,
Keyshawn
about
is
what
training
about
hey,
Turkey.
so
Bob's
this is what I want to ask you,
what about
CDK.
Bob's recent
Yeah.
statement of
This
go ahead.
is what I want to ask you. I was going to ask you. So what you think about the Gabrielle Frandor fight?
Hey man, she looked phenomenal. That was
I
my
told,
first time. That was
I
my first
told you was
time
gonna
getting to
like
see
her.
her. She do a lot of she got a lot more better skills than her brother. Her brother to me is I ain't gonna say trash. I don't like using that word, but her brother's skills is not up to par. I put it that way. I think she looked excellent last night. She showed me a lot. She's young too, so she got a chance to be really, really a superstar. It's hard for these women to become superstars unless you certain names. Clarissa, Amanda, Katie. But she got a chance to be on that level as far as stardom.
Yeah, I mean, I told you she has everything that her brother doesn't have. She know how to fight from a distance. She know how to fight mid range. She know how to fight inside. She does. Now her defense, little suspect here and there. And granted, she's fighting a smaller guy, so a smaller female.
Yeah.
So she got to bend down to their level to get some of the shots off, so it leaves herself open.
Yeah.
But a lot of the females that she's fighting, they don't have power at those weight classes. So she can get away with it at that weight class because as she move up in weight, those females start to get closer to her height. So she's still gonna be taller than all of those females, but some of them will be much closer to her height. You got some of them that's like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", but majority of them is still they're going to be smaller than her because she's like 5'10", 5'11". So they're still going to be shorter than her. She's still going to have the longer arm reach, but as she move up in weight, some of them will be closer to her height, so she doesn't have to give up as much real estate to get the shots off because they're now closer to her height. But I told you, I was like, no, you're going to like her because she got everything that her brother don't have.
You were right. She do.
I don't
She
I
do.
don't I don't see her losing. I don't see her having a tough fight to maybe she gets to like 126.
What?
126, I can see some tough fights there. But she's at 115 right now. She just defended
Man,
her
she's
undisputed
strong to
title.
be 115 pounds.
Yeah, she just defended her undisputed title at 115. She might move up to 118 next and go for the champion there. Whatever, whoever the champion is, go for that. But I think she can have an easy run for undisputed at that weight class as well. And then 122, we see who they have there. So she got some time before she's gonna probably face some real serious
Competition.
competition. Yeah, I just her height, her length, and her
Damn.
skills is going to make it hard for anybody to be able to beat her.
Yeah, I agree. Man, listen, I got to get out of here. I got to get my son dressed, get to my mom, everybody calling and wondering where I'm at. Man,
Uh,
hey, I appreciate y'all. I don't know if anybody's doing anything tonight free. When y'all going to be doing this draft? Your draft?
oh well, I know Dub is doing something tonight at 11:30. He's doing his conspiracy show.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dub will be doing something tonight. But other than that, I don't think anybody else is doing anything. I think anybody pretty much taking the day off for Easter. I mean, there might be some shows going on here and there. Somebody might decide to do a quick live, real quick, to recap what happened yesterday.
Definitely. Hot Rod, appreciate you coming up, man. The first time getting to really share the stage with you on my panel. I appreciate that.
But yeah, y'all make sure y'all tune in Thursday and Friday. We will be doing the live draft show. We're gonna be we're gonna be reacting to every draft pick that's being made the first and second day. We won't be doing anything for Saturday. We're not doing that. I mean, that's pretty much guys that probably won't make the team or whatever. But Thursday and Friday, we will be doing a live draft show, reacting to every live draft pick. And Wednesday, if y'all have the time at 6:00, I will be doing the last mock draft. So y'all can come up on the live and select the draft pick for your team. We're going to do the first 4 rounds if we have a full house. If it's not that many people up there, we can do all 7 rounds. But I think it's going to pretty much be a full house, so we probably be only doing 4 rounds.
Okay, all right. Prize, Mark and Dan, y'all got anything before we get out of here?
Well, just salute to everybody. Me and Dub, we had a great politics show last Friday. With the draft coming up, I don't know. We might move the date, or we might
Yeah,
just do it the following week. But look out for that. And salute to CDK Boxing, and salute to the Mighty Sports Talk Network. Y'all look out.
we out.
Yeah, peace.
Peace. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.